You and your people are about to conquer the largest land empire the world has ever seen. Not with the biggest army, not with the most advanced cities, with horses, discipline, and a way of living so tough that soft, wealthy nations cannot comprehend it until you are already at their gates. You carry your food, your shelter, your weapons, and your entire way of war on horseback. And you can cross distances that leave your enemies stunned. There is no long baggage train slowing you down. You are the supply line. You are the weapon. Let me show you your day. Everything begins with the horses, because without them, you are nothing. And with them, you are unstoppable. You do not ride one horse, you ride with several, a whole string of them, so that when one tires, you switch to a fresh mount without ever stopping. This simple fact is the secret behind the speed that terrifies the world. An army tied to a single horse per man must rest often. Your army, rotating through fresh mounts, can keep moving at a pace no one can match, covering ground so fast that news of your coming barely outruns you. Your horses are small, tough, and hardy, bred for endurance on the harsh steppe, able to find their own food by grazing, able to survive conditions that would kill a pampered warhorse. They are not just transport, they are your engine, your logistics, and, as you will see, even your food and drink in a crisis. You would die for them, and in a sense, you live off them. You were not trained to be a soldier the way settled peoples train. You were born into it. From the time you could barely walk, you were on a horse. As a small child, you learned to ride, and soon after, to shoot a bow from horseback. For you, the two most important military skills in your world are not lessons. They are simply how you grew up. This is why your enemies cannot match you, even when they outnumber you. They must take farmers and townsmen and teach them, painfully and slowly, to fight. You arrived at adulthood already a master horseman and archer, because your entire way of life is a training ground. Herding, hunting, migrating across vast distances, all of it built the exact skills that make you a devastating warrior. Your childhood was your boot camp, and it lasted your whole life, before the war ever began. Your weapon is a bow, but not just any bow. It is a powerful, compact bow, built in layers from different materials, curved in a way that packs enormous power into a small, horse-friendly size. It can strike hard at a distance that surprises your foes, and you can fire it accurately, while riding at a full gallop. And here's a trick that breaks the spirit of your enemies. You can shoot backward. You can pretend to flee, draw the enemy into a reckless chase, and then twist in the saddle and fire on your pursuers as you ride away, turning a retreat into a slaughter. This false retreat is one of your deadliest tactics. Your enemies think they have won, think they are running you down, right up until the moment the arrows come flying back at them. You are never more dangerous than when you appear to be losing. That is a lesson your foes learn too late, again and again. You do not stop to cook elaborate meals, because stopping is death to your speed. You eat on the move, and your food is engineered for exactly that. Dried meat pounded into a light, compact form. Dried curds and milk products. All of it easy to carry, slow to spoil, and quick to consume in the saddle. You carry your rations in a form so concentrated that a small amount can sustain you for a long time. Add water to the dried meat powder, and it becomes a meal. This is field logistics centuries ahead of your enemies, who must haul heavy supplies in slow wagons. While they crawl along, tied to their baggage, you range far and fast, fed by a pouch at your side. Food that does not slow you down is a weapon in itself, and you wield it as surely as your bow. And when even the dried rations run out, in the harshest stretch of a hard campaign, your horses provide again, in a way that stuns outsiders. You drink their milk, fermented into a mildly potent, nourishing drink that is a staple of your diet. And in true desperation, you can open a small vein in a horse's neck, take a little of its blood to drink for sustenance, and close the wound again, without killing the animal. This is survival stripped to its core. Your horse can carry you, outrun your enemies, and, in the worst extremity, feed you, all without dying, so that it can do it all again tomorrow. No settled army can imagine fighting like this, sustained by the very animals they ride. It is why you can go where they cannot, endure what they cannot, and appear, hungry but alive, in places they were certain no army could reach. Your endurance is not human toughness alone. It is the deep, practical partnership between you and the animals that are your whole world. You have crossed more ground by midday than most armies manage in a week. Subscribe, quickly, before we ride out of range. For all your individual skill, the thing that truly conquers the world is organization. Your army is built on a clean, brilliant system. Units of 10, grouped into units of 100, grouped into 1,000, grouped into 10,000. Every man knows his unit, his commander, and his place, and orders flow cleanly up and down this structure. This means your army can be controlled and maneuvered with a precision your enemies cannot match. Huge forces move as one, split apart to strike from many directions, and come back together exactly on command. Discipline is absolute. To flee and abandon your unit can bring punishment on the whole group. So no one runs, because running dooms your comrades. You do not fight as a mob of brave individuals. You fight as a single, coordinated machine, and a machine will defeat a mob every single time. Here is something revolutionary about your army. Something the rigid, birth-obsessed societies you conquer cannot understand. You can rise. Your commanders are not chosen only by noble blood. They are chosen, in large part, by skill and loyalty. A talented, brave, capable man from humble origins can climb to command thousands, promoted because he is good, not because of who his father was. This makes your army ferociously effective, because talent gets used instead of wasted. And every soldier knows that courage and ability can lift him high. Your great leader famously rewards loyalty and competence above birth, and binds men to him through fairness and shared spoils, rather than mere fear. Compare that to your enemies, where command goes to whoever was born to the right family, competent or not. You are led by the capable, they are led by the well-born. On the battlefield, that difference is decisive. Your way of war has a hard logic to it, and you should understand it plainly. When you approach a city, a choice is often offered. Submit, open the gates, and be spared. Folded into the empire, your skills and your goods put to use. Or resist, force a long fight, and face devastation as a lesson to every other city watching. This reputation is a weapon as powerful as any bow. Word of what happens to those who resist travels ahead of you, and many cities, terrified, simply surrender, sparing themselves and saving you a costly siege. It is calculated. Terror is cheaper than battle, and mercy to those who yield encourages others to yield. It is brutal by any measure, and it is also brutally efficient. You are not cruel for its own sake. You are cruel with a purpose, and the purpose is to make resistance seem so hopeless that most of your conquests are won before a single arrow flies. An empire this large should be impossible to hold together, because news should take forever to cross it. But you have solved that too. A network of relay stations stretches across the conquered lands, each stocked with fresh horses and riders, so that a message can be handed off, station to station, and race across enormous distances at astonishing speed. This means your leaders can send orders, receive reports, and coordinate across an empire so vast it defies belief, faster than anyone thought possible. It is a nervous system for a giant, letting the whole thing act with a single will. The same genius you bring to war, the rotating horses, the clean organization, the speed, you bring to running what you conquer. You do not just take the world, you wire it together so it can be governed at the speed of a galloping horse. When the day's movement ends, you make camp with practice speed. Your shelter is a round tent of felt over a wooden frame, warm, portable, quick to raise. A home you can carry across a continent. The horses are set to graze on whatever the land offers. Fires are lit. The vast machine of the army settles for the night, still ordered, still ready to move at dawn. You rest, but lightly, because tomorrow the march continues, deeper into lands your grandparents never dreamed of. You are far from the steppe where you were born, and yet you carry the steppe with you. In your tent, your horses, your food, your whole way of being. You have not adapted to the wider world. You have imposed your world onto it, and it is working. Bit by bit, day by day, an empire is taking shape beneath the hooves of your horses. When it is finished, the empire your people build will be the largest connected land empire in the history of the world, stretching across an almost unimaginable expanse. And it was built, not by a rich, populous, settled nation, but by a relatively small people from the harsh grasslands, on the backs of tough little horses, using skills learned in childhood and organized with ruthless brilliance. That is the great lesson of your life. and the one your enemies learned too late. Wealth and walls and numbers are not the same as strength. A people who can outmove, outlast, outshoot, and outthink their opponents can topple civilizations far grander than their own. You had almost nothing that a wealthy empire would recognize as power. You had horses, discipline, endurance, and a way of war refined over generations. And it turned out that was more than enough to remake the map of the world. You lived hard, ate from a pouch, and sometimes from a horse's vein, slept in a felt tent under foreign stars, and rode farther than any army before you. And in doing so, ordinary as your day felt to you, you helped build something the world had never seen and would never quite see again. All of it moving at the speed of a fresh horse, one day's ride at a time. That is where we leave you. If you survived the video, you are already doing better than the person you just played. So do the small thing. Like it, subscribe, and I will drop you into another life next time. Same voice, same stick figures, someone else's very bad day.